there are loads of different shapes and sizes of tools, and sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. The most important thing to start off with is a good pair of scissors. There are many different shapes and sizes. First thing is you're going to need is a good pair of basic pruning scissors. These are very long, very sharp. So if you've got quite a bushy tree, it allows you to get right inside the tree and prune out little shoots that are growing inside. So that is your first tool. There are smaller ones, and sometimes if people have got very small hands, you might prefer a smaller pair, but that's the sort of thing you're going to need. All right. From there, you will then need a pair of these. These are side branch cutters, and these are for pruning larger branches. So you've got the scissors, great for pruning twigs. These are really for pruning branches in the sort of matchstick size up to chopstick size. For bigger branches, you have bigger side cutters. I'll show you a pair of big ones, shall I? There. How about those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So they'll do the really big ones, but generally starting off with, they're a good size. And there are many sizes in between. Then, from there, you're going to need a pair of these. You remember what these are called?
Bull nose, something or other.
No.
They're the knob cutter, yeah.
Knob cutters, yes. So these are, once you've removed the branch, you will use these for that. Then you've got these. These are for removing any little lumps and bumps along the trunk or thick parts of the branches. Yeah. Those are your basic 3 tools you're going to need to start off with. First of all, a nice pair of twig cutters, long, thin, narrow scissors. Then you will need probably a pair of these, actually. These are shears. These are great. I don't tend to use these much on the top of the trees, but they're great for pruning the roots. They're very, very thick and chunky blades, very, very strong. You've got all the roots hanging out, good trim round, and that is ideal for those. So probably those 4 things. Oh, and one other thing actually is this, the old faithful chopstick.
Right, get those from the old takeaway.
Yep, you can do that. I prefer the wooden ones, don't like the plastic ones, they get a bit slippery.
Yeah.
The important thing is, I've learnt, is that with all tools, buy the best that you possibly can afford. Cheap tools don't last very long. These are all high quality Japanese tools, and they will last a lifetime if you look after them, treat them with respect. And for instance, I had someone once, they bought a pair of these side cutters. A week later, they came back in and brought another pair. So I said, what happened to the other pair? Oh, well, my wife pulled some nails out the wall with them. Well, you can imagine they didn't last very long after doing that. But if you just keep them for your bonsai, finished with them, after the day you finish with them, you clean them off, put them away, they will last for a lifetime. I'll just show you one thing actually, which a lot of people sort of have in their toolkit. It's basically a little brush just for soil arranging. Potting your tree, put the soil in, and we just tamp down the top of the soil. From there, basically you just sort of build up your toolkit with what you need. Depends on the style of bonsai that you're growing and the sort of things that you're going to be doing.
I suppose you'd need a watering can, wouldn't you? Some little water.
Watering can is good, yes. Wire cutters. We haven't touched on anything like that yet.
Why do you need wire cutters?
Cutting wire.
Put the fence around the tree.
You could actually put a little fence around the tree. Yes, you could. We'll show you that. We do use a fair amount of wire in a lot of the training. Okay, but we'll show you that in a minute. So, what else have we got? We've got all sorts of things. Pliers. These are called gin pliers. Have you seen a bonsai where it's got lots of dead wood all sticking out of it? When you look at lots of old trees, they have dead branches sticking out of them. The Japanese call it a jin, which means ghost branch or ghost. And so what we do to recreate that, we strip off some of the bark. And the gin pliers are what we use to do that. We crush the bark very carefully around, strip it all off. That leaves the dead branch on the side, just the wood inside it. And that recreates the dead part of the tree. Gives it age and character. So then from there we have many different sizes of different tools. These ones are quite good. Look, these are big knob cutters. I use these quite a lot.
For the big knobs?
For the big knobs.
Oh,
so
okay.
now, as you can see, we have different pots. There are thousands and thousands of different types of pots. Different trees need different pots. Different shapes, sizes, colours, all sorts of things vary. I'll show you a few pots here. This one is a Chinese pot. It's got quite a nice glaze to it. The important thing when you're choosing a bonsai pot is these little things here. So we've got good drainage. That's essential for any bonsai pot. If you pick up a pot and it's got tiny little holes in it, then don't buy it. Also, it's not glazed on the inside. That's also important. You need a nice rough surface that the roots can actually grip to. Okay. There are round ones, ovals, squares, rectangles, for every different shape and size of bonsai. These ones are really more for indoor bonsai. Obviously, if that's sitting on your ledge somewhere, the water's going to drain out through the hole. You want a little tray to catch it on. Also, it's nice indoors when you've got the heating on through the winter. You get a little bit of build-up of water in the bottom there, and as it evaporates, creates a bit of humidity around the tree. Right. Outside, it doesn't matter so much. So you can see there is a whole array of pots and tools, and it's such a vast subject. It goes on and on and on. But the important thing is just to not get overwhelmed, keep it simple, because the rest of it you'll learn throughout time, and that's part of learning, really.